I'll go ahead and take us to the let's get the headliner out of the way. Let's see who's going to actually throw something down on the lock stock, because when we have Auburn, who's not yet really been tested, going to take on a Penn State team that, passed its first test against Wisconsin. And, as much as we wanted to use our emotions about the house divided cover 3 family rivalry with Ball State and Penn State, I think that seeing Penn State just handle business is something that's encouraging. However, I am not prepared to lay points with Sean Clifford, and I am not prepared to take Bo Nix on the road. So with a very simple explanation, I figure that we can get our Penn State Auburn conversation going with saying it's Sean Clifford against Bo Nix. I will be taking the under.
Yeah, 53.
Okay, let's go.
Anybody going anywhere on that total?
I am.
Fight.
I'm going again. Fights like it was such a good Thursday. You guys heard me. I was listening to Bob Marley before the show, like in a great mood. So Auburn scored 60-plus points back-to-back weeks, first time since 1932. Large part because of the run game. I still think the run game could be explosive. Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter going off last week. Sean Clifford's been playing better. He really has. He's gone over 230 yards passing in the last 4 games.
2021.
Don't laugh at me. And he's had 0 interceptions. He's taking better care of the ball. There's a piece of me. This is very much a contrarian play because I think the majority of people are going to think like you. We're going to get a reenactment of Graham Mertz versus Sean Clifford. But I'll remind you, in that game, Mike Yurcich dialed up some big plays. Clifford missed on some of those. I think we're going to see incredible atmosphere. I think you're going to see more offense than the 53. So give me the over, the total. 2 fights for me to start it off.
I don't know why you two are so obsessed with the total when the play here is incredibly obvious.
Penn State.
You're talking about it being the battle of Bo Nix and Sean Clifford. Who the hell wants to bet on Bo Nix on the road? Like,
hey, you have the splits pulled up right now?
I do have the splits.
Yeah,
Thank you for asking, Chip. Here's Bo Nix, who has been, through his career, he's been pretty good at home. He's completed, 63% of his passes, 7.7 yards per attempt, 15 touchdowns, and 1 interception. On the road, his completion rate drops to 54.5%. His YPA plummets to 5.7 per attempt, and he's thrown more touchdowns, 10, than he has touchdowns, or interceptions than touchdowns. He's not good on the road. This is going to be his first road start of the season in front of 100,000 people, all wearing white and going crazy because it is the big prime time game. So they're going to be tailgating all day, and they're going to be drunk as hell come nighttime, and they're going to be loud. They're going to be raucous, and I can get Penn State -4.5. So I'm taking Penn State -4.5.
This thing has moved 1.5 since what, yesterday?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm a little bit worried about it, but I'm not worried about it at all.
It opened 4.5.
Okay.
And I bet Penn State -4.5.
Okay.
However, there is something I like even more in this game than the Penn State -4.5. Now that team totals are out a little bit late this week, yeah, I want that Auburn under 24 team total. All right. So Auburn played Akron. They put up like 10 yards play against Akron. We covered this, I think, already twice this week. But if you guys are new to Locks Pod, I'm going to go over this again. Auburn, with their newfound offense, dropping 60 points on people. Got 10 yards of play before garbage time against Akron. Akron, who plays a whole bunch of freshmen and walk-ons in that game. Akron, last weekend, against Temple's backup quarterback at home. 8 yards of play allowed before garbage time. Auburn really didn't do anything to Akron's defense that Temple, with the backup quarterback, didn't do on the road to Akron's defense. I do not want to bet the game under here because I do think that Penn State is one of these sneaky pace teams, right? And they're trying to play a lot faster this year. Like them, Arizona, there's a couple more that are really cranking off a lot more plays and drives based on how they're playing. But I like that Auburn under 24 team total. To me, that's I feel good about that. But
okay.
Tom, I'm with you there on that 4.5 too. Just I won't lock agreement because I like this better.
It's listen, we're talking about a quarterback who has multiple names. I mean, Josh Pate called him Bo Picks yesterday on the Early Edge afternoon show at 3 p.m. I'm seeing in the comments, you just got to say no to Road Bo, says Will. I mean, there are nursery rhymes written about not trusting the Auburn quarterback in these positions. So it seems like this is contrarian Danny. He can either have our way or else we're all walking to the window with thinking that this is going to be the same kind of game.